did linear equations, and this is really similar to that process. So if it's really familiar, just hang with us and we'll refresh it, go pretty quick, and be done with this part. Click Start Calculator. You should have a page that looks like this. I'll give you 30 seconds, maybe more. Some of you aren't logged in. It's thinking pages. If it doesn't start, I don't know how to do this. First thing you're starting with. Loading. While they're loading, you guys watched the movie yesterday, the video? It was kind of funny. Yeah? Did you like it? You didn't finish it? You didn't like the movie? Power of One? The story of one? So, have you guys watched the Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Yeah.
So that's the same creator of Monty Python created that film. It's kind of old, but it's funnier than other ones I could show you. It has some humor to it. If you're loading in, Charles and a few others, we're getting there. I'm going to start, but you can just kind of get caught up whenever you get on the site. First thing you're doing is next to the plus symbol, you're going to type this, f of x equals x. And you have something that appears, this is a linear function. It's a straight line that goes through 0, 0. Thumb up if you have that on your screen. So f of x equals x should be on the top left. This is called your parent function. This is the base function that you'll see that's a linear function, and the slope of the line is 1, and the y-intercept is 0. So it goes up by 1, and it goes through 0. This is called the parent function. There's a 1 next to the x, that's your slope. There's no number that's for the y-intercept, that's because it's 0. That's your parent. Okay, let's check out the graph. You guys already know this, but I just want to review what it looks like on an actual graph. Next to another plus symbol, we're going to type in f of x equals mx plus b. So you should hit the plus sign. Next to it, you're going to type in f of x equals mx plus b and hit enter. F of x equals mx plus b and hit enter. So hit the plus sign. Did that not do it? Hit expression. That still didn't do it. Okay, never mind, you guys. Instead of hitting the plus sign, just redo the. Does enter do it? Okay. You can either erase what you just created. You can erase the f of x equals x and redo that on the line, or press enter and you'll get a new line. So you're going to type in, let me go back, delete, back, delete, delete. So you guys had f of x. You're going to type in f of x equals mx plus b. Thumb up if you were on a page that looks kind of like that. All right, if you aren't here, I just want you to look at the board now because you're going to follow along with us. If you don't have it, it still works. It's just less in front of you. You're going to notice that the m is 1 when you type that in, and the b is 1. That means your slope is 1 and your y-intercept is 1. You're going to slide the m value to 5. So from m, it was 1, slide it to 5. What is the new linear equation of this line? When you change the m from 1 to 5, you used to have, back to your paper, you used to have f of x equals 1x plus 1. What is the new linear function? Indy, what's the new function? When you change it to 5, what would it turn into? What is the m value for this graph? Okay, if you change it to 5, what is it? 5x plus? You got it. So what happened to the line when you changed it to 5, Stan? Slide it from 1 to 5. What happened? Look on the board. From 1 to 5, what happened? From 1 to 5, it actually would become steeper. So from 1 to 5, the graph gets steeper. What happened to the line? The line gets steeper. Okay, keep it on m equals 5. Slide the b value from 1 to 5. Let's zoom out. Does it say negative or positive? Go to negative 5? Yeah. No. Go to negative 5, and what happened to your line? Caden, what do you notice? Five to negative 5. What happened to the y-intercept? Yeah, it moves down to negative 5. From 5, it goes down to negative 5. 5 to negative 5. You could also press play and watch what happens. The y-intercept is slowly moving, and it's going to 5. This is what Mr. Mackey does on the weekends. I just go into GeoGebra and just watch it go back and forth. You can even speed it up like this. Check it out. Wait, that's slowing down. No, stop, play. Okay, let's do this. We'll go faster. There we go. This is where it gets interesting. There we go. So the point is, back to your notes. The new linear equation was y equals 5x plus 1. It is now 5x plus 5. So changing the b changes the position of the y-intercept. What happened? The y-intercept changed to negative 5. Amy, thanks. That is a blunder. Kendall, can you mark a 1? It is negative 5. Okay, so your big idea, changing the y value or the y-intercepts, moves the graph up or down. Oh, you know what? That's interesting. So it looks like it's left or right, but it's actually moving it like from this point down. It looks like it's kind of transporting, but when we talk about the y-intercept, we want to focus on where it's crossing the y. So this point is moving up. Let me see if I can zoom it out and press play again. Slow it down. So it looks like it's going left to right, but what's actually happening is your y-intercept changed. So notice how the y-intercept goes from negative 5, 0, 5, 0, negative 5, 0, 5, 0, negative 5. So the point of this is you're moving the y-intercept. That's what happens when you change b. Stan. Yeah. You're moving the parent function. Yeah. F of x is the parent function. Yeah. Change that if you didn't put function. All right, third example. Let's go back to our GeoGebra line. Hit delete, and go back to a blank. m value skip example 2. Did you go from that was example 2? You are on example 3 now? Okay. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Let's just fill these in really quickly. So the sliding the m value to 5, we already did that one, and the new linear equation would have been f of x equals 5x plus 1. When you change that, we already said it got steeper. Now let's go in and change that 5 to a 0. So type in f of x equals 0x plus 1. F of x equals 0x plus 1. What happened to your slope this time, Elia? It's a straight line, it's horizontal, so that means your slope is 0. Bob is standing on that horizontal line. So what happened when it got 0? It made a horizontal line. And last one. Let's go back up to your function, and you're going to type in g of x, hit enter, leave this one as 0x plus 1, type in g of x equals, this time we're going to plug in a negative. So do g of x equals negative m plus b. What happened to your line? Well, let's change that one to a 1x so you can see where it is. Okay, what's the difference between blue and purple, Bell? They both have the same level of steepness, but they're facing which direction? Yeah, they're facing different directions, so this is showing the difference between a positive and a negative slope. Example 4, when you change the m value to negative, the new linear equation looks like this. F of x equals negative x plus 1. The difference is they're going in different directions. Okay, so that should have been a review of what you kind of already know with functions. Last couple of vocab words. A family of functions. You can half master Chromebook now. A family of functions is a set of functions whose graphs have a basic characteristic in common. What do all these variations in the original function f of x equal x have in common? Well, they're all linear functions. So a family of functions could be a set of linear functions. They all have a straight line. You could also have a set that is all parabolas. They all have x to the third. That's called a family of functions. The most basic family is called the parent function. That's your starting point. That's where you started today. And that looked like f of x equals x. Last one. A parameter is one of the constants in a function or equation that determines which variation of the parent function you are considering. That's either looking at the slope that's one parameter, or the y-intercept. That's a second parameter in the second. So if it's talking about a parameter, it's talking about m or b. You can either look at the y-intercept or the slope. Scale 1 to 5, how confident are you with changing slope-intercept? 5, I'm confident. 1, I'm lost because that was way too jumbled. Okay, hands down, it should have been a little review, but because it got mixed up in examples 2 and 3, some of you may be slightly lost. When you guys do the bronze, you're going to be talking about shifting either B or M. That's all you're trying to do in 1 through the end. Take out your, you got 10 minutes, take out your clocks.